morning. Welcome to day 11 of the challenge. I will just make sure that everything is up and running before I start talking, and then we'll dive in and get started. I'm excited about today's task. There we go. Okay, so it's day 11 of the Spring into Simple challenge, and today we are starting one of my favorite categories to tackle. We're starting clothes. Now I know this can be a hard category for many of us. It was for me when I was, had a lot of clothes that I needed to declutter. It was challenging. So again, today we're just gonna do what we can with the time we have. We're gonna focus on making some progress, not aim for perfection. We're just gonna try to get some clutter out of our closet and see what we can do. So I definitely encourage you to check out today's email. There is so much info in the email for today. Lots of tips and ways to make it a little easier and strategies to try. So definitely check out today's email. I'll quickly go through kind of what was in the email today. So today's video might be just a little bit longer, but I think it's all good information. And because clothes can be more challenging to declutter, I think it will help you make the whole process a little bit easier, a little bit less stressful. So we're actually going to spend 3 days decluttering our clothes in the challenge. Because many of us start with a big wardrobe. We have lots of clothes, so it takes some time to go through it all. And it can be hard to declutter our clothes. We spent a lot of money on them. We have our identity wrapped up in them sometimes. We can have a lot of positive or negative feelings about how our clothes make us feel. So it's not always easy to declutter our clothes. So we'll just do it a little bit at a time and make it a little less stressful. But I want to say, just to give you some encouragement, I have a very simplified wardrobe, and it is probably my favorite decluttering project I have ever done. Simplifying my wardrobe, getting the clutter out of my closet, has been my favorite decluttering project ever. It has impacted my life so profoundly, and it seems funny because you think, like, what does it matter? If you have a little clutter in your closet, who cares? But it has impacted so much in my life. It's impacted how I feel about myself. It's made my mornings less stressful. My closet is, something I really enjoy. Like, I open it up and it's all my favorite clothes. It's all things I feel good wearing. So it just feels good to get dressed. I feel good about myself wearing clothes that I love and that are comfortable and feel good on me. So it seems like it doesn't matter if you have a little extra clutter in your closet, but knowing the other side of that, knowing how it feels to have a simplified wardrobe with only my favorite things, it can positively impact your life in so many different ways that it's really worth putting in the effort and getting rid of that clutter, getting rid of the clothes that don't fit, the clothes that you never choose anyway, the clothes that you just flip past looking for your favorites. You have probably heard this before, but they say most of us already have a capsule wardrobe. We wear the same things over and over and over again. The rest is just kind of a distraction and gets in the way, and we're not really wearing it all that often anyway. So getting rid of that clutter makes life so much easier. I can't tell you how much easier it is to get dressed when I don't have clothes that don't fit, that I don't like, that don't feel good. I just don't have those things in my closet anymore. So getting dressed is so easy. It's, fun. I get to pick from my favorite things. So I really encourage you to remember that as you're working on the next 3 days tasks, as we're decluttering our clothes. Just remember how much lighter and stress-free it can be to get rid of that clutter from your closet. Okay, so with that said, I'll go quickly through the tips from the email, just because I think there's a lot to share, and there's a lot of ways that can make decluttering clothes easier. So the first thing, before you even get started decluttering your clothes, is to start thinking about why you're keeping the clothes that you're not wearing anyway. And in the email, there's a link to a post with 12 of the most common reasons that we keep clothes we don't wear and what to do about that. So it's so much easier to be able to let go once you know why you're holding on. Once you can pinpoint why you're holding on and what's making it feel hard to let go, it often becomes so much easier to work through the process and get rid of the clutter that you're not wearing. So take a few minutes to read that article. I won't go through all 12 reasons, but take a few minutes to read it. notice, what makes you hold on to clothes that you're not wearing? Which of those reasons can you relate to? And it helps you start with the right mindset so you can identify why you're holding on and then make letting go a little bit easier. So some other tips to make decluttering clothes easier. One of the biggest things I recommend is trying each item on. So it takes a little bit longer when you're trying everything on. It takes a little more time and effort, but it's so worth it, because when you can honestly assess if something looks and feels good on you, it helps you get rid of those things that don't so much easier. So often, we flip through a closet and we think, oh yeah, I like that, I like that, I like that. But then you put it on and maybe your body has changed, maybe styles have changed, maybe your preferences have changed. You put it on and it doesn't look that good. It doesn't feel that good, but you don't know until you try it on. So I really encourage you to try everything on and really assess how it looks and feels on you. Like, try to even take pictures of yourself, give yourself like a critical look. Don't think about like, well, this is my favorite shirt from 10 years ago. Of course I still love it. Things have changed. Maybe it's just not working for you anymore. So really honestly assess how you look and how you feel in each thing. And that's one of the greatest ways to start weeding out the clutter. And I also have some questions you can ask yourself as you're decluttering clothes that can help you clarify what's worth keeping and what's just adding clutter. So I'll quickly go through those. They're also in the email, but I'll just quickly touch on them here. So the first thing to ask yourself is, does the item fit well today? So you want to aim to keep what fits you today in your closet. If your weight fluctuates or changes on a regular basis, or you know that it will be changing, you can keep those, a few items in different sizes, that's fine. But maybe keep them somewhere else, like in a spare closet or just at the back of your closet, not in like your main front section of your closet, because it's just fewer decisions each morning and fewer distractions. Instead of sorting through things that don't fit, you automatically know everything in this section of my closet that I go to every day, everything fits me today. So aim to keep everything that fits you today. That's the first question. Does it fit you well today? If you try it on and it doesn't fit, but like I said, your weight might be changing, then make sure it's only something you really, really love that you're keeping for a different size. Honestly assess, if your weight changes, would you actually want to wear that or not so much? So the first thing is, does it fit well today? The second thing, is it damaged, stained, or needing repair? If it's, damaged beyond repair, it's probably time to let go of it. We don't feel good when we wear things that are stained or holey or, just kind of have lived their life. We don't, those things don't make us feel good. So first of all, if it's beyond repair, get rid of it. Next, if it could still be repaired, give yourself a deadline to get those repairs done. Either pay someone to do it or do it yourself, but give yourself a deadline. Because often we hold on to things that need to be repaired, but they just sit there for months and months and months. And if it was something you truly loved and wore often, you would miss it. Having it out of your wardrobe for a week or two, you would notice it and you would miss it. If it can sit in your closet for months waiting to have that button sewed back on or whatever it is, maybe you don't really need or love it all that much. You've gotten by just fine without it. Maybe you can just let it go. So that's the second thing to ask yourself, is if it's damaged, stained, or needing repair. Get rid of the garbage ones. Set deadlines to get repairs done if it can be repaired. The next thing to ask yourself is, do you feel good in it? Is it comfortable? Often we have clothes that, look really good, but are so uncomfortable. I know some of us are more sensitive to this. I am on the more sensitive side. Like if something is itchy or scratchy or too rough, like I can't stand to wear it. But I would often keep things because maybe I spent a lot of money on them. Maybe it's, everyone needs like a good white blouse in their wardrobe, even though it scratches me and drives me crazy, or those kinds of things. So really assess, does it feel good? Is it comfortable? The next thing is, do you look good in it? Do the color and the style flatter you? And this is, again, try it on and really honestly assess, do you look good when you wear it? Does it make you feel like you look good? That can change everything. When you feel like you look good, you have confidence, you feel good about yourself, when you feel like you don't look so great in something, you can tell in just the way you feel. Like, you don't feel your best. You don't feel good at all. So that's another thing to ask. Another thing you can ask yourself is, when was the last time you wore it? And this is a great way to assess if you actually love and wear something or not. Often we keep these things thinking like, oh, well, this is a really great piece. I'm going to keep this because it's a classic. But if you haven't worn it for a year or more, does it really need to be in your wardrobe? Is it adding value to your life, or is it just taking up space in your closet? And then the last thing to ask yourself is, would you be happy to wear it for the rest of the day? And you can take this a step farther and actually plan to wear it. Like, plan to wear that top tomorrow and see how you feel, because I guarantee you, if there's something you're unsure about, after a day of wearing it, at the end of the day, you will know if you love it or not. You will know, especially if you pay attention, you will know how you feel in it, if it's comfortable, how it looks on you. This is the best way. Like, if you wouldn't want to wear it for the rest of the day, that's a good sign. It probably doesn't deserve a spot in your closet. If you're still unsure, make a plan to wear those items this week. Wear them for the next few days and really pay attention to how they feel. I have done this, and it's one of the best ways to get rid of the clutter. I can think of one sweater I had in particular. It was like a knit sweater, and it was beautiful. It was really nice, good quality. I'd see it on the hanger. I loved it. I'd put it on, and I loved it, but I never wore it. And so I was like, why do I never wear this? So I made a point to wear it. Well, I realized quite quickly it shifted back. You know those ones that like shift back, and it was like strangling me the whole day. And so it didn't take me long to realize that's why I never choose to wear this. It drives me crazy. I feel like I can't breathe. It's strangling me all day. But I wouldn't have known that until I wore it, because even when I tried it on for just a few minutes, it was fine. It wasn't until I wore it and it started like shifting around and, you know, would shift back and come up around my neck that I realized, no, this doesn't feel good. So if there are things you're unsure about, make a point of wearing them, and you'll see by the end of the day, you'll know for sure if it's something you love and you've just kind of forgotten about and gotten out of the habit of wearing, or if there's a reason that you never choose it and that just brought to light what that reason is. So those are the 6 questions you can ask yourself. And then in your closet, it's also a great time to use a maybe box. So I've talked a little bit about the maybe box in some of the other days challenges, but basically a maybe box is like your decluttering safety net. So how it works is you put things that you're unsure about. So if there are tops that you're not sure if you want to get rid of or not, put them in your maybe box, seal the box, put it in the basement or somewhere out of the way, put a reminder on your phone for maybe 3 months from now or 6 months from now, whatever feels right to you, and just try living without those clothes. See if you miss them. When you get the reminder, if you haven't needed them, if you haven't wanted them, if you haven't even thought about what's in the box, that's a good indication that those are things you don't need or love, and you can live just fine without them. You can safely let them go and you won't even miss them. So it's just that decluttering safety net. It lets you experiment with being a little more ruthless, maybe letting go of some tops that you're unsure about. You can experiment living without them and see what happens. If there's something that you think like, oh, I need that top, I forgot, I always wear it with this and I miss it and I want it back, go and get it and bring that one back. But just allow yourself to experiment living without those things and see what happens. It's a really great way to take the fear out of decluttering and let yourself experiment being a little more ruthless without like the pressure of what if I regret that, or what if I want those things, or what if I'm sad I got rid of that. It's the perfect way to just practice living without things and letting things go and see how it goes for you. And then again, just remember, we're just focusing on progress today, not perfection. Do what you can in the time you have. If you have a lot of tops and tackling all of your tops feels really overwhelming, break it down further. Maybe tackle sleeveless tops or t-shirts or sweaters or cardigans or whatever category you want to tackle. Start with one smaller category, and if you have time, tackle another one. Again, we don't need to stress ourselves out doing this. If all of your tops feels like too much, break it down a little further so it doesn't feel overwhelming. It feels manageable to you. Do what works for you, and know that every time you're decluttering, it's adding up and it's making a difference. So I kind of wanted to give you, so those are generic clothes decluttering tips that we talked about. Now I wanted to share my process for going through my clothes, what I actually do that I have found really effective as you're decluttering. I'm just gonna have a quick drink. Okay, so the first thing, I find it really helpful to gather all your clothes in one place. So all your tops, or a category of tops that you're tackling, gather them all together. If you have some in your closet, some in your dresser, gather them all together. Your bed is a really great spot to kind of do this task. So gather them all together. First, quickly sort through and pull out anything that you know you don't love and you're ready to get rid of. Pull out those things right away. Next, pull out everything that you love and you wear often and you look good in and you feel good in and you know you want to keep. Those things can come out right away. So we have the definite no's and the definite yeses pulled out. Now we're left with everything that's left. And this is where those 6 questions can help us. This is where it helps to try everything on. So you know you pulled out your definite yeses already, so try to be as ruthless as you can with these like maybe kind of things. Like, I'm not sure, I don't love it, I don't hate it, I'm just not sure. Try to be as ruthless as you can with these items. And also listen to your gut. Go with your first instinct. If your first instinct is, no, I don't really like that, don't try to talk yourself into it, but it looks good with those pants, but I wear it with this. If your first instinct is telling you, I don't love this item, get rid of it. Or at the very least, put it in a maybe box and just try getting rid of it. And I also want to encourage you, we usually need less clothes than we think. We often have, like, if you look through your closet, count how many tops you have and figure out how many days in a row you could wear something new without repeating and not repeat anything. Like, how many days could you go without doing laundry, without repeating anything? For most of us, it's quite a while. Like, even me with my simplified wardrobe, like, I think I could go, I can't even remember, but I think I could go like 25 days and have a different top for each day. So go through, like, use that to kind of spur you on to be a little more ruthless. Like, you have plenty, you need less than you think. So don't be afraid to let go. Even having, 10 tops, that's still like a week and a half that you could wear something different before repeating anything. That's still pretty good. You could do laundry once a week and still have things to wear. So just remind yourself to be ruthless with these maybe items. You probably need less than you think, and you probably have more than you need. So that's kind of my tips for today, is to pull out the definite no's, the things you're definitely ready to get rid of, the definite yeses, the things you love and definitely want to keep, and then try to be as ruthless as you can going through those maybe items. Ask yourself the 6 questions, try things on, especially for the maybes. Try things on and see, do you really love it, look good in it, feel good in it, all of those things. So I'll let you go now because I've talked for quite a while, but I really am excited to see what you guys do in your wardrobes. I'm excited to see your progress in your decluttering. So share pictures if you're comfortable in the Facebook group. Show us what you're working on. Tell us what you're working on. I have seen so many benefits from decluttering my wardrobe that I'm excited for you guys to see some of those benefits too. So happy decluttering, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. I'll be back at 9:30 again. Our usual time, 9:30 Mountain Standard Time for tomorrow's video. And we're gonna continue working on our wardrobe. So take care, everybody. Happy decluttering. And I can't wait to see what you do today. Take care.